What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. I've done a ton of research. It's 1:20 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Got my picks ready. I wasn't going to record a full video, edit it, chop it up. I'd be up till like 4 in the morning. I ain't doing that, so I thought we'd go live. We'll go through some of my picks. I'll answer some of your questions. We'll pretty much keep going until I either get tired or until my son wakes up. Or who knows, I might even bring him on here. But if that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Okay. So, jumping straight into props madness. Just trying to get my background set up nice and ready for you. There we go. Props madness. This is the best tool you're going to find if you like betting on NBA player props. Go ahead and check this out. Let's quickly say hi to everyone. Well, I can't say hi to everyone in the comment section. The chat is blowing up the lux, but I just wanted to let you know that I've read it. I'm reading it. What's up? I hope you guys are all good. I do have quite a few picks. I've sent these out to everybody who's on Winnable. I've got tons. So we'll go through the couple of games. We'll go through most of the games. We'll talk about what you guys want to. Actually, I'll nail off 5 off the top, and then we can get out of here. So then we can get into your chat stuff. We'll go Wizards versus the Hornets first. So this has a tremendous opportunity when it comes to betting. Both of these teams absolutely suck defensively. You guys are aware of that. So there's going to be some good betting opportunity. What I love about this, we got a 4-point spread here. Now, the Wizards can find a way to get blown out by anybody. But if this game does stay close, I think there's tons of opportunity. Just reading the chat. You guys are firing it up. Keep it going. Keep firing up that chat. But yeah, all my leans cash. This was so quick recap on yesterday. I had a pretty average day, if I'm being honest with you. I was down like 3.7 units. Man, all the leans that I had cash, everything I thought about betting on but didn't because I was being a conservative asshole, they all cash. But my actual bets, they absolutely sucked. So sub to the channel because your boy's getting busy. What time is it in Sydney? It is 1:20 a.m. You know what I'm talking about. But let's talk about this game. Hopefully this chat doesn't distract me too much. Part of the reason why I don't go live often, but let's do this. Wizards versus Hornets. There's a couple of good angles here. So the first one's on Miles Bridges, and you've got to look at his rebounds. Now, his rebounds, this line opened up at 7.5, but it's moved to 8.5 in most places, but you can get it for really good odds, which is at plus money, which is what I'm willing to entertain. And I have taken the bet here. He's been rebounding crazy as of late. I think the main angle to look at here is Bridges is playing a ton of minutes. No LaMelo, no Miller. Let's talk about it. Check this out. Over in 6 out of 7 games without those dudes, 10.3 rebounds up against the Washington Wizards, who allow the most rebounds per game. Like, it's as simple as that. And like I said, the blowout is unlikely. The Wizards allow the most rebounds to power forwards in the league. I honestly think Miles Bridges gets a double-double today. So I do like his over in rebounds. The other one in this game that you can't ignore is Mark Williams, and you got to look at his points and rebounds. Now, his hit rate without LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, that's not the angle you need to take. He's not necessarily correlated with those guys. For me, it comes down to minutes. He's projected to play like 33 minutes, 32 minutes or something like that. And if we look at games where he's playing at least 30, he's hit this line in 5 out of 8, averaging 33.1 points and rebounds. He's got one of the softest matchups in the league. The only other team that's probably a soft matchup like this is actually Charlotte. So Mark Williams and Jonas Valanciunas have excellent matchups today. But for Mark Williams, the Wizards allow the most points and the second most rebounds to centers in the league. 10 out of the last 15 similar type of players as Mark Williams, they've crushed their line against the Washington Wizards. So I think Mark Williams has a big game as well. Not taking any bets on Kuzma or anything like that because I hate him and I can't predict him. But let's jump into the next one. We got Hawks versus the Pistons. You guys want to talk about Malik Beasley? We were going with my boy Measley. Well, Measley cashed us out yesterday, and I'm not taking any bets on him today. I did consider it, but I don't know. I'm going to consider myself lucky. I'm only going to get a bet on Beasley after he has a bad game. All right. So till he has a bad game, I'm not going to touch him. But the play that I'm looking at betting on this one is Asar Thompson. I do like he's over 9.5 points today. So I'm looking for him to score 10. Now, he's projected to play 23 minutes today. They are on a back-to-back. That's one thing to call out. But I'm looking at games where he's played at least 20. He's played one back-to-back game this season. He scored 10. But games where he plays at least 20 minutes, he's over in 8 out of 15. It's not great. 9.3 is an average, although he did have his second highest scoring output against his same team as up against the Atlanta Hawks. He scored 16 points in this game, 7 for 9. We see here 11 out of 15 similar types of players as Asar Thompson. They've covered their points line against the Atlanta Hawks. And why is that? It's this. Asar Thompson scoring most of his points in transition on the break. This Atlanta Hawks team, 7th most points allowed in transition, which is pretty wild. So I love that. Spot up, I don't trust him to make points from the spot up, let's be honest. But it's those transition buckets, points off turnovers. The Hawks are going to get a lot of those. I think Asar Thompson has a big game today. He only played 22 minutes against the Bulls. That game was nice and tight. A lot of their main players, they got a really heavy run. So Thompson will play at least 20 minutes in this game. He'll get some transition opportunities, and he'll attack the rack. Another thing I like about this is this shot chart here. He scores 70% of his points in the restricted area. This Atlanta Hawks team, shit defensively. I apologize. I don't mean to swear. I meant to be on my best behavior on YouTube. If you did not know, last channel's been paused. It's going to be paused for quite some time. So this is going to be what we're going to be running with for quite some time. But the Atlanta Hawks, 4th most points in the restricted area this season. So they're really soft around the rim. And I think someone like Asar Thompson can take advantage of that. Maybe get a couple of nice lobs, maybe a highlight too. But outside of that, we're moving on. Rockets versus the Knicks. What's the thoughts on this one? 2 players that I'm thinking of here. Now, if you just think about this season and the Rockets and the Knicks, how they play defense, I've spoken about this many times. The Rockets, they'll force you to play one-on-one with them. They're going to limit spot-up shooting, all that type of stuff, and they're going to really funnel you towards the rim, which is why I like Jalen Brunson to score some points today. So this Houston Rockets team allow the 2nd most points in the pick and roll. They allow the 5th most points in isolation. Both of those things are Jalen Brunson's go-tos. We can use props madness here to find similar types of matchups. The first thing we want to do is get his minutes right. So he's going to play big minutes today. He's projected to play like 38. Let's look at games where he plays at least 36. This next filter is looking at teams that don't defend the pick and roll very well. So we're looking at the bottom 10 teams that defend in the pick and roll. And then this next one I want to look at is assists allowed. So this Houston Rockets team doesn't allow many assists, which means they're going to force people to score. So we find the damn filter and then we roll in. Opponent assists allowed. Let's look at the top 10 teams. So this is what I would say a similar type of matchup. These are teams that don't defend the pick and roll, but they pretty much don't let anybody else score. So Jalen Brunson is in that matchup against Houston. And you can see in these types of games, we're talking about Rockets, Pistons, and Orlando. Very similar types of defense. Jalen Brunson over this line in 4 out of 6, averaging 28.7 points. The reason why I love this bet even more, he scored 29 points against Houston last time. The Knicks lost that game. Brunson did what I expected he to do. He got volume, 9 from 24. So his shot percentage was ass, right? 9 from 24, which means there's a lot of upside here. If he gets his percentages right, he could easily cover 30 in this game. So he's going to see volume based on the way the Houston Rockets play defense. So I do like Jalen Brunson to go over his points prop today. The other one I'd be looking at here is Jalen Green. And for very similar reasons. One, Jalen Green's been a beat. Jalen Green, he's been a beast. Ever since Jabari's been out, he's over this line in 12 out of 15 games. That's not the reason why I'm taking it. It does help us, though. The main reason that I like this is the fact that this New York Knicks team have a great matchup. They allow the most points in the league in the pick and roll. Jalen Green scoring 33% of his points in the pick and roll. 10 out of 15 similar types of players have covered their line against the Knicks. So I do love it here. He's going to see a lot of opportunity. Also, Fred VanVleet, he's out. So Jalen Green's going to see more usage rate. He'll see more pick and roll action. And if the Knicks continue to play in drop coverage, Jalen Green should be able to kill him. So I do like him to score at least 25 points in this game. Let's see what else we got. Let's keep rolling. We've got Kings versus Timberwolves. So I'm running with Domas today. And I know a lot of people are betting on DeMar DeRozan, and that makes a ton of sense. But quick look at DeMar DeRozan. His line opened at 19.5. It's up to 23.5 in most places. So I feel like I may have lost the edge there. I don't want to take it if it's moved already 3 points, but I think it's still a good look for DeMar. Domantas Sabonis is who I'm rolling with today. 19.5 points. So Fox has just been traded. Levine's not ready to play in this game. He's only played 3 games without De'Aaron Fox. He scored 22, 21, and 23. All of these were somewhat difficult matchups. Golden State, Miami, and the Boston Celtics. Up against the Timberwolves today, somewhat difficult as well, but it does support the play, knowing that without Fox, Giannis scores more points. The other reason I like this pick is the matchup against Rudy Gobert. So if we look at the head-to-head matchups, he's already played the Wolves 3 times this season, 24.7 points per game, covering this line in all 3 of those suckers. And I think the thought process around this in Minnesota is, given they have Rudy Gobert, they're not going to double Domantas Sabonis. They're going to let Domantas play one-on-one with Rudy all game. They prefer to trade 2s than give up a ton of 3s. So Domas, he should have a pretty strong game here. So I do like his over 19.5 points. Now, I'm not betting on this, but Malik Monk assists. This has been somewhat of a wagon, you could say. A lot of people have been smashing this. Lines up to 7.5 now. The matchup against the Timberwolves is not great. 5th fewest assists in the league. He has covered this in 1 out of 2 games, though. 4 assists in 1. Then once he joined the starting lineup, he did have 9 assists in that game. There's no De'Aaron Fox in this one, so you could only assume Malik Monk sees higher usage. If we look at his games without De'Aaron Fox, he's over this line in 2 out of 3 games. So, yeah, it's not a bad play. I'm not betting on Malik Monk, though. I'm just going to roll with Domas today. What's another one that I've got for y'all? In this Pelicans game, actually, Pelicans always a good team to bet against. And I'm rolling with Trey Murphy today. Trey Murphy, I'm going with his points and assists. So for Trey Murphy, what's he projected to play? He's projected to play a ton of minutes, 39 minutes today. So I'm going to see big-time Trey Murphy. He should be on the court for almost the whole game pretty much. But the key call out here is he's going to play big minutes. DeJounte Murray's out. That guy with the lazy eye has been out for a long time. I don't remember his name because he's been out for so long. Brandon Ingram. But he should see a ton of usage. And if you think about the matchups and the way that the Denver Nuggets play defense, they're actually pretty good at limiting points in the pick and roll. 5th fewest points in the pick and roll. CJ McCollum, he's going to be on the ball a lot today without DeJounte Murray. He's going to be in a lot of those pick and roll actions. I don't like his matchup to score points, but Zion and Trey Murphy, they should be able to score some points today. Trey Murphy's the guy that I'm rolling with in this one. Great matchup. Check this out. He scores 27% of his points from spot-up shooting. The Denver Nuggets, 3rd most points of spot-up shooters. Scores a ton in transition. That's a whole lot of dunks and layups. The Denver Nuggets, 8th most points in transition allowed. So I love that part of the matchup. The play type makes sense. If we look at his shot zones, 40% of his points are from above the break. Denver Nuggets, bottom 10 in terms of points allowed above the break. 9 out of the last 14 similar types of players have gone over their points line against the Denver Nuggets as well. So I do like that. Now, why did I add the assists? Well, look, he's got a pretty decent hit rate on the assists when he plays his volume minutes, and he's playing with the Denver Nuggets, against the Denver Nuggets, who just give up assists to everybody. So I think Trey Murphy can cover 25.5 in points alone. That's what I think. And I think taking the assists is just some extras. So those are the picks that I have for now. But before I get into the chat, maybe answer some of your questions if you do have any. I just want to let you guys know that for VIP, if you want to jump on where I run all my value plays, parlays, we're up at like 170 units so far this season. I've got a live stream discount. So this is a very limited thing. 50% off your VIP membership for the next 3 months, not 1 month, for the next 3 months if you use the code live when you sign up. I've got a link for that in the video description again. So go ahead and check it out. Links in the video description. Use the code live. You get 50% off your next 3 months, but this is limited only to the first 20 people who use that code. So go ahead and check that out. Now I'm going to quickly scan the chat and see what you guys are talking about. There's a whole lot of message on here, so I appreciate you all for firing it up. We got a lot of people in here. I think, we almost have 500 people. Maybe I need to live stream more often, but I am not going to stay up to 2 a.m. So the timing might be difficult for it. Well, let me see what's been popping off recently. What do we got? Cade assists. We can talk about Cade assists if you want to. Let's talk about Cade assists. So Cade assists against the Atlanta Hawks. So Cade's line's at 10.5. He had 11 assists last time, 18 potentials. He's got a great matchup to get assists. 5 out of the last 5 similar types of players have covered their assist line against the Atlanta Hawks. I honestly think this is a pretty good look. I don't mind this. 10.5 is quite high, though. Like, even though I think he covers it, it's like even when Jokic is lined at 10.5, I still don't seem to take it, although I think it's a good matchup, and a lot of times they do. But Cade Cunningham to go over his assists, it's not a bad look. The Atlanta Hawks, 4th most assists allowed. So if we look at the teams that give it the most assists, let's go bottom 10. Cade's only over this line in 5 out of 16 games, though. So The 10.5 is a real killer. If it was at 9.5, suddenly you're working with a 50% hit rate. At 10.5, the hit rate's not that great. He is on a back-to-back. I wonder if that matters to anything. He played 34 minutes against the Bulls. What if we look at back-to-back games this season? He's averaging 10.4 assists, over in 3 out of 7. Look, I don't mind this bet. I don't mind this bet for Cade Cunningham over his assist. I don't love it too much, but hey, you do you, baby boo. Eamon Dimes. Let's take a look at this, because this is one thing I did consider, because we've got no Van Vliet in the lineup. We've got a very limited sample size of Eamon Thompson without Van Vliet, I believe, because Fred's been pretty consistent. So he's played 3 games without Fred. He's over this line in only one of them, averaging 3.3 assists. 2 of these games he played heavy minutes, Clippers and the Kings. This is a plus money at 4.5 though, so 3.5 is probably decent, but 4.5 at plus money might be something we can muck around with. So let's just talk about Eamon Thompson if he gets the minutes, which I think he will. He's projected to play like almost 40 minutes in this game. When he plays a ton of volume, we see he's averaging 4 assists, 4 out of the last 14. Knicks bottom 8 in terms of assists allowed. But look, at the same time, Eamon Thompson, he can surprise you a lot of times. So when the minutes are there, a lot of the times he can produce, rebounds quite well, scores pretty well too. It's just the matchup is not necessarily ideal. Now, matchups aren't the be-all and end-all, right? Like, the matchup doesn't have to be good, but it does support the case sometimes. So, Eamon Dimes, I don't hate it. 4.5 plus money. It ain't too bad. Am I on Pickett? No. I wish I was, because Pickett actually reached out to me for a partnership, and I was like, look, I'd love to. I just can't get Pickett in my country. So, no Pickett in Australia. What else is happening? What's happening? Oos. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, Jordan. Don't worry. We here. And you can always go back and watch this. I don't believe it's going to be that long. You've been killing the Mark Williams prop. Look, and so have I. I've been killing Mark Williams on the dimes as well. Lines at 2.5. He has been cashing it nicely, but the odds for Mark Williams to get assists today, absolutely terrible. Minus 150 for where he normally hooks at 3. Even though the matchup is nice, like he should hit 3. But at minus 150, I don't think the odds are worth it, to be honest. Like, if you kept playing bets at minus 150 and you only won at 50 or 60%, you'd be losing a ton of money. So, Corey, happy birthday, bruh. Greg, you in Sydney. Nice. It's 1:30 a.m. I don't know what you're doing up, but don't worry. We're not checking your history here, your browser history. How do I like the Mavericks now? I actually do like them. I like them even more. I like Luka, don't get me wrong, but man, he stunts the growth of everybody when he's playing. He's one of those guys that doesn't make everybody better. The Mavericks, when they're healthy, have been pretty good. AD gives them something, but also his health is also a question mark. But we'll see. We'll see who wins the chip in the next 3 years, and we'll determine who wins that trade or not. Joseph, what's happening, King? I don't look, when I go live, it's not normally me going live. I'm usually live on somebody else's channel. But hey, if you guys are loving it, it might be something I can look to do. We just have to pick an appropriate time, because 1:30 a.m. is not for me. Kessler, 10 points, 10 rebounds. I actually do like Walker Kessler today. Walker Kessler's been a bit of a wagon up against the Pacers. Let's take a look. Walker Kessler. So Walker Kessler's projected to play 31 minutes today. So let's look at games where he plays at between 28 and 34. I think let's go 33. 28 and 33. So points-wise, he's over this in 13 out of 20. 6 out of the last 10 similar plays. He's got a decent matchup to score some points too. Putback stuff and the pick and roll. Pace is pretty soft defensively to Walker Kessler. So, yeah, I'd support the over in his points. I wonder what odds you're getting for 10 points, 10 rebounds. Surely you're probably getting like plus 180, plus 190 perhaps. His rebound line is at 10.5 though, so you probably get plus 150 if you do double-double. I'm just guessing here, making up odds. That's what I do. But rebounds, yeah, if you got him just for 10, I absolutely love it. If he's going to get the minutes, I think he gets the boards. It's pretty much as simple as that. Walker Kessler. What's the spread? 7-point spread. Hopefully Utah keep it close and you can cash your bet. Sabonis triple-double. Man, he does get these quite often. I find it hard to predict when he's going to get them, though. But let's take a look, because I'm already taking Sabonis over his points. Let me take a deeper dive into the rebounds and assists, see if we can find anything. If I can just find the damn game. Here we are. All right. Domantas Sabonis. So we spoke about the points already. I think he gets over there. He definitely scores more than 10 points. So that first part of your triple-double is good. Looking at his assists, though. 3 games against Minnesota. Assist volume hasn't been there. 3.3 assists is an average against Minnesota. And that's because Minnesota are going to let him play one-on-one. They're not going to leave spot-up shooters wide open. So it might be difficult for him. Does a lot of handoff action as well. So he might be able to get assists that way, but this is the risky part of the triple-double. I don't know if you can get the 10 assists unless the angle is he gets more assists without De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, he's had a triple-double in, 1 out of the 3 games without Fox. But Miami does give up a ton of assists, so the matchup made sense there. And then rebounds-wise, rebounds well without Fox, but that shouldn't impact anything. Head-to-head, he's gone under his rebound line in all 3 games against the Timberwolves. So I don't like to play for Domantas Sabonis to get a triple-double. I like it just to get points today. But look, you do you. I'm only right half the time, but when I am right, boy, am I right. You went with points for Cade, Antonio. Yeah, I'd support that. That's not a bad play. Zion over 22.5 points. Yeah, I do like Zion to score over 22.5 points. I do. He's got a good matchup too. So Zion and Trey Murphy, I think, is where they get the production from. Zion is only capped at 28 minutes, apparently, his projection. He's only playing about 28 minutes today. Since he's come back from injury, he's hit this in 4 consecutive games. So matchup-wise, it's nice. What's the total in this? 241. There's going to be points here. I think Zion's going to score a lot of points. Trey Murphy should score a lot of points. Like there's Jokic is going to get a triple-double, but I'm assuming the odds for that aren't good. Look at this. 9 out of the last 15 players, similar to Zion Williamson, cover their points line. Transition, Nuggets are below average. Same as isolation scoring, they're below average. I think the Nuggets let Aaron Gordon defend Zion one-on-one. I think they'd be comfortable with that. So, yeah, completely supporting the play there for Zion to go over his points. I do like it. I lost where I was up to on the chat, but you guys are firing this thing up. We got over 500 people in here. Let's go. I apologize if I missed any of your comments, if you're asking for something. I don't have a producer or somebody helping me with this. So managing the comments, going through the picks at the same time is just crazy. Actually, because you guys are firing up the chat, it's making it difficult for me. I'm scrolling up and down all over the joint, but smash the like button. Whilst I search this chat, I'll remind you, VIP, 50% off if you use the code LIVE. That's only limited to the first 20 people. Mark, hi from Hobart. You're up late as well, mate. Adam Malik Beasley. Look, I think he does go over, but I'm not touching Malik Beasley until he has a bad game. No, I think that's the same thing with me, Antonio. I ain't seeing much of the lines for that game, so we'll have to wait till we get closer to. But I guess what I can say is probably good morning to everyone. So for those of you in the US, I'm assuming it's like 6, 7, 8 in the morning, maybe. Here in Australia, it's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. So we'll see. All right. Anthony Edwards over 32 points. That's brave. Anthony Edwards is a game time decision today, but he does have a good matchup. Line's at 30.5. So unless you're looking at a 31.5 because you use an underdog, the first thing I would say is probably get off that, see if you can find a 30, but let's talk about it. He's been playing quite well lately. Matchup with the Kings. Yeah, he's averaging 32 points against them, 32, 36, 29. He sees a ton of volume in this matchup, 24 plus shots in every single one of them. What do we have? The Kings, pretty good at limiting points in transition, average at pick and roll. The Kings do give up a ton of spot-up shooting, though. So an angle you might want to look at is Naz Reid, but he just left the last game with an injury, but his play type for this game is perfect. I don't know what the status is for Naz Reid after winning that, after missing it. Who's winning it this year? We've got, well, how do you look past OKC, Boston, Cleveland, like the real favorites, to be honest. Like, I'd like to see Dallas win. I don't have any Dallas gear, by the way, which I might have to get, but it takes 2 taps to hit like. Go get it. Yo, what's up from Melbourne? It's 1:42 a.m. for you as well. What else have we got? For us, just using prize picks, plus money doesn't matter. How do you know which one we should use from the list? That's a good question. Look, when I give out picks, you can see the odds. So if you're looking at stuff like prize picks, plus money, I wouldn't touch any of those unless it was like a demon on prize picks. If it's a regular line and people like myself are putting it out for plus money, then you probably wouldn't take it on prize picks. What you do want to hit are all those bets where like the odds are a little bit crap, right? But you can get the line for it on Prize Picks, because Prize Picks gives the same odds for every single bet. I'm trying to think for what's a play that's really juiced right now. Let's say, like, let's use Miles Bridges as an example, right? This opened at 7.5. Prize Picks has this at 8, right? This opened at 7.5. It's at -160, -155. So if you're using a traditional sports book, you probably wouldn't bet Miles Bridges over 7.5 boards because the odds are terrible. But if you get the same line on Prize Picks is always at -137. Then suddenly you've got a good value pick there. So Miles Bridges, Prize Picks have moved him to 8. And at 8, I honestly don't hate it. It's not too bad. But yeah, if you're looking at Prize Picks and those types of apps, you want to find odds against sports books where the books are favoring it for it to happen, meaning the odds. Basically, you want to look for odds that are -137 or worse. So if you get worse odds, then that's the strategy that I would be using. This guy's firing up the chat, so I got to give him his flowers. What's happening, King? so the story here is he likes to drop me a comment in almost every single video, and he likes to donate me a couple of dollars for every video because he wants to buy me ice cream. Like, buy me dinner first, right? Nick Smith Jr. points. Let's talk about it. Nick Smith Jr., he was on fire in that last game against Denver, which worries me a little bit because he doesn't consistently shoot that way. Let's just put it that way. Looking at games without LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Now, Nick Smith Jr., his matchup, it's actually not the best matchup you can find against Washington. Like, Washington are terrible and they have terrible defense. But around the pick and roll, they're actually average. Against spot-up shooters, they're average. What they suck at is anybody attacking the rim. So Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, those types of guys have a better matchup, I would say. Not someone like Nick Smith Jr. But he's also wildly inconsistent. These are his games without LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Over in 2 out of 5, 9.8 as an average. 9.8 as an average. Like, you don't know what he's going to do. So he did go off against Denver. It's not something that I'd looking at rebound. I would look at it. PJ Washington. Oh my God, this is my boy. PJ Washington. Is he even playing today? I got no lines available for them. But PJ Washington, I don't know what's going on. Beasley over 1.5 assists. You know, I actually loved Beasley's assist today against the Bulls. Killed it. He had 5 assists. I was spewing. I didn't ladder that thing up. Last time against Atlanta, he had 1 assist. Now, his potential assist volume is not high. This just happens in the offense. And I don't love it as much against Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta are going to force him to pass. They probably force him to shoot. So if I was betting on Beasley, it'd probably be the points. I don't love his assists that much. But look, it's only 2 assists, right? You can just get that through the flow of the game. Help me out. Hit that like button, subscribe. Just do whatever you can. Please, please help your boy. Bilal Coulibaly. What up, Jovain? How about Coulibaly at 15.5 points and rebounds? Let's take a look at my boy Bilal. Now, with this Washington team, what's important to look at is the games because Malcolm Brogdon's back. Poole, Kuzma, Brogdon are the main things we want to look at. And yeah, he's only hit this in 2 games, so it doesn't look good. Let me see what's happening as of late. So Bilal Coulibaly is an interesting one. Last time against Charlotte, he killed them 21 and 26, but they were missing Kuzma in those games. Yeah. So Bilal Coulibaly without Kuzma is a beast. With Kuzma, not so much. That's with Kuzma, 14.9 as an average. Without Kuzma, 21.2. So the line at 15.5 is probably about right. I probably lean to the over, given the soft matchup, though, against Charlotte. So I don't hate the play there for Bilal, but yeah, not one of my favorites. Halliburton dimes. I did look at this. Utah gives up a ton of assists, right? That makes a whole lot of sense to me. But for Halliburton, hasn't been reigning in the numbers as of late. If we look at games against the bottom 10 teams in assists allowed, it looks a lot better, actually. I correct myself. So the Utah, 5th most assists allowed, 2nd worst defensive rating. Hallie over this line in 12 out of 17 games when he versus these ass teams that give up a ton of assists. 7-point spread. So Hallie should get the game time. Look, I don't hate this at first look. It looks like a pretty decent play. I don't know what I was looking at when I looked at it. I think I was looking at more his recent form, minutes projections. Because recently he has been doing great, but at the same time, if you just look at the games where he has an easy matchup to get assists, yeah, he's been cooking. It's not too bad. I don't mind that. Thank you, Juki. Am I live every day? Absolutely not. It's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm only going live because I didn't have enough time to create the video, edit it, upload. Like all that takes a very long time. So no, I'm not. Look, I could try to go live more often. We'll see. We'll see what the schedule looks like, what the time difference is. I'll most likely just be joining Josh from Land Your Bets in his live stream. He's already got a good setup for everything, and plus I don't have to do all this navigating, reading the comments. I can just shoot my shit. You know what I'm saying? Paolo Banchero points. Let's take a look at this. I barely looked at this Magic Warriors game. I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is a bit stinky. I don't like it. But Banchero over 23.5 points. He's got an awful matchup to score, to be honest with you. And he's been shooting the ball terribly. Well, one thing we can count on is Banchero is going to take about 20 shots in this game, which is nice. But if you're betting the over, it's completely on the thought process that he's going to shoot better. The matchup doesn't give you any massive reason to bet it. The play type, shot type doesn't either. If anything, it's difficult for him. He scores a lot of his points around the basket. This Warriors team gives up the fewest points around the rim. So, yeah, Banchero points. I'll probably lean to the under. It's going to be sweaty because he's going to shoot a ton of shots. Hey, David, have you taken a look at Josh Green yet? I'm interested in his points or points and assists tonight. Does well without ball in the lineup, and the matchup looks juicy. Yeah, I think this game just presents a ton of opportunity. I'm actually pretty upset about myself about Josh Green, and here's why. The last game against the Denver Nuggets, I loved his assist prop, but I also noticed that without LaMelo and Brandon Miller, he had been scoring the ball quite well, right? So what I did was I created a same-game parlay for him to go over 8.5 points and over 2 assists, and then I also created a parlay for him to go over 5 assists and over 10 points. And check this out. He finishes with 6 points because he barely shot the ball, but then he had 5 assists. And I was like, that 5 assists was paying so much already. I was a fool to add the points in there. But anyway, let's talk about it. Points plus assists for Josh Green. He's been cashing it out like crazy. He does finish on 11 quite a lot, though, so that might be a little bit sweaty if you take the 10.5. But I get it. It makes sense. The matchup is soft. For me, would I take the assists? Because the challenge here with Josh Green, he's such a low usage rate player. Even without LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, what's his usage rate? No, his usage rate is 10%. He's pretty much got a 10% usage rate without LaMelo and Brandon Miller. So that's the concern there. He doesn't see a ton of volume either. You'd be lucky to get 8 shots out of him. So, and if he's only taking 8 shots, you really need him to be efficient and consistent. So I get the look. I like the hit rate. It makes sense, but it's a little bit risky. Paolo was banned. He a bitch till further notice. Yeah, potentially. Hey, 5 of y'all taking the pics, but only half of y'all like the video. Come on, smash that like button. My goodness, I can't edit that out. It's a live stream. Nikola Jokic. All right, let's talk about what Nikola Jokic is capable of doing today against the Pelicans. My Lord, this guy's Lions. Crazy. All right, let's take a look. Points lines 27.5, 10.5 assists, 13.5 rebounds. Okay, let's do it. Points wise, he actually doesn't have the best matchup to score points here against the Pelicans, which is funny because the Pelicans allow a ton of points to centers. But in terms of how Jokic likes to score, they defend it quite well. 7th fewest points in the spot up. They don't allow too many free throws, and they're pretty ass at defending the pick and roll, man. But Nikola Jokic, right? He just scores in so many different ways. 27.5 is a lot of points, though. 11-point spread. I think if you're betting on Jokic points, you need to determine whether they're going to win or not. I think that factors in a lot because it could impact his minutes. Points, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Assist-wise, let's take a look. He had 10 assists against them last time. What did he do? He scored 27 points against them last time, and they just won by 3. So didn't score very well, and then there's a chance there's a blowout. He had 10 assists from 21 potentials, and he had 13 rebounds. So he had a triple-double. If I was betting on Nikola Jokic, I honestly would just bet the triple-double. I don't know what the odds are. Maybe you can put that in the chat, but that's how I would be betting on him. Taking his individual lines is just crazy. Giannis assists. Now, I did consider Giannis assists. This is a good look. Now, Giannis assists as of late. Well, it's actually all season. He's pretty inconsistent. It's up and down all the time. Depends on the matchup, how he chooses to play, but also how the defense plays him. This OKC team, he had 10 assists against them last time. And part of that was how they play. They're going to sell out pretty much. They're going to sell out to stop Giannis from making layups. They're going to force the Bucks to make threes in the perimeter and all that type of stuff. Giannis assists. I don't mind it. There's plus money for 5.5 at the moment. Prize Picks has this on 5 on the dot. So yeah, it's not a bad look. I don't mind the Giannis play. If you want to use props madness, so let's filter it out because this is going to be actually quite difficult. He's up against OKC today. So if we're going to look at this and his assists, we might want to look at assists allowed. So the teams that don't allow many assists, Giannis only over in 5 out of 15. So that's not going to work. Defensive rating, when he plays against the best defensive rated teams in the league, he's only over in 4 out of 14 games. Okay. Points in the paint. They don't allow many points in the paint. And Giannis is over in 6 out of 15 games. So it's not that one either. If you could find, because sometimes it's like not many teams defend the way that OKC do as well. What about for pace? No, pace is not going to give us anything. I don't think it will anyway. So the Thunder play with the 8th fastest pace. Now, if you look at the teams that play with the 15th fastest pace, is over 13 out of 20. So you could use that argument that if teams play fast, Giannis can get more assists. That's true. But I guess there's a lot of contradicting data if you're just going to use advanced numbers around it. But it all comes down to OKC will most likely play defense where they're going to try to cut off Giannis, stop him from getting to the rim. They're going to force him to pass the ball like they did last time, you would assume. Or maybe they do something different, right? And this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, he had 10 assists last time against OKC. In that game, the Milwaukee Bucks won that game by 16 points. So Giannis has 10 assists, 26 points, only 19 shots. But the 10 assists, I assume a lot of them went to three-point shooters and role players, and the Bucks killed them, right? What if OKC was to say, we're going to switch up the defense, we're going to let Giannis score 40, but no one else is going to score a damn thing? I'm just saying. It could happen. That's my hesitation with betting on Giannis. That's all. Do I have a points ladder? Not necessarily, but if you're talking about who do I think can blow up and like overachieve on their points, I assume I'd be looking at someone like Trey Murphy. I think his line is quite low for what he's capable of doing. I think Trey Murphy can score a ton of points. Jalen Brunson under assists. Yeah, I definitely lean that way. The concern is that his usage rate is going to be sky high. So I just went with his points only. Naz Reid under 6.5 boards. Up against the Kings. Now the hit rate on his boards on this specific play is going to look good, but the whole reason is he's going to be playing more minutes than he normally does. So you got to keep that in mind. Let me just check his minutes projection real quick. What are we working with today for Naz Reid? Also, is he playing? I know he was a game time decision last time. He's still a game time decision today, actually. So we don't even know if Naz Reid's going to play, but he's projected to play 30 minutes in this game. Looking at games where he plays at least 28 to 34, he's over this in 4 out of 12, 5.5 boards. Matchup against the Kings. Yeah, it's not too bad. 15th most rebounds allowed in the league, the Kings, so right in the middle. Yeah, look, I'd lean to the under, but if you look at the odds for this aren't great either. So if you're going to take an under, actually, you can't even Prize Picks are stealing. They dropped the line to 6. So if you're looking at an under, you're looking at odds of like minus 140. I don't think that's worth playing. The hit rate is good, but I don't like it. Paolo threes, you're kidding yourself. I think, honestly, if you're betting on Prize Picks, stuff like that, you can bet on like players like attempts. Paolo Banchero, maybe you can bet on his field goal attempts or 3-point attempts. That could be interesting. Steph Curry, points, rebounds, and assists. Let's take a look. So Steph Curry, tough matchup against Orlando. Kind of a tough matchup. Now, Steph Curry's been pretty ass scoring the ball lately. Hasn't played Orlando yet. So when it comes to scoring points, his matchup is all right when it comes to scoring out of the pick and roll. So I don't hate that. Assists, we're going to be tough to get. Orlando, second fewest assists. Rebounds, he hasn't been doing that either. So, yeah, if you're looking at under in a PRA for Steph Curry, you're really looking at recent form. And if you're still off the mindset, look, I would say, this is what I would do. Steph Curry has a good matchup to score points, and that's the only thing he has a good matchup on. So if you're looking at an under, maybe the rebounds and assists is probably a better look, but I get it. Steph Curry's been playing like trash lately. People saying he's washed and he's old, But this is what happens. They get old. I don't know why people hate on him because he's getting older. There's nothing wrong with that. They're like, it's normal. So, yeah, I don't mind that under there for Steph Curry. Hallie rebounds. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Let's take a look at Hallie. Or is it a recent thing? Rebounds, potential is there. 11 out of the last 15 players like Hallie have rebounded well against Utah. So that makes sense. Yeah, one thing you look at, maybe rebounds and assists for Hallie. You could definitely take a look at that. 12.5. Utah are not great. He could get that in assists alone if he has a great game. So, yeah, that ain't too bad. What else have we got? John Collins. John Collins been playing well lately. John Collins has a decent matchup too against Indiana. Weak against the spot up. They give up a lot of free throws, transition putbacks. I don't mind the look for John Collins. My concern here is volume. So even in the last game, he scored 19 points. He only took 9 shots. He just shot 89% from the field. And if he's not going to get the shot volume, it might be a little bit difficult. That's all I'm going to say on that, on John Collins, especially like Laurie's there, Sexton. Like they got a lot of people who can get buckets. The volume's the only risk there with John Collins. Man, every time I see capital letters, I just think someone is angry at me. So that shocked me for a second. But take a second to like the video. Give your boy a thumbs up. Risa Share today. Now, Risa Share, we've gotten 2 consecutive games with him playing quite well. I didn't even bet on him the last game because I was worried that he might be one and done. But he's put 2 decent games together. His line's at 11.5. Up against Detroit, it's a somewhat difficult matchup for his play type, transition and spot-up shooting. This Detroit Pistons team tends to get annihilated in the pick and roll. So I wouldn't bet on Risa Share today. Trae Young actually has the best matchup to score points today against Detroit. He shit the bed last time. He only scored 13 points against them. So that was interesting. But he does have the best matchup. You can see it here. 11 out of the 15 similar types of players to Trae Young. They've covered their points line against Detroit. Pretty much, they don't defend the pick and roll extremely well. And above the break, they give it the 4th most points. But Risa Shea, he's on a tear right now. So the matchup may not matter. So he can definitely go over. What else have we got? Tim Hardaway rebounds. Let's take a look at Tim. Tiny Tim. Line's at 2.5. 1.5 in some places. I don't know what the angle is here against Atlanta. He had 6 rebounds against Atlanta, but I don't think it's a matchup thing. Like, honestly, rebounding with Tim Hardaway is just luck. He's going to play about 25 to 30 minutes. He's just going to be running around, and sometimes the ball's going to bounce his direction. That's what you can really do with Tim Hardaway. We've gone through Koulibaly, Giannis, Risa Share. Let me take a look. Let's see what else we got. All right. Can we check Zion assists? He smacked 5 assists against Denver a few times. All right. We can check it out. Let's take a look. Zion assists. So line's at 4.5. He hasn't played Denver this year, so we're talking historically. Yeah, he's hit it against them last year. But Denver last year was a different defense. If we look at assists allowed, Denver last year, they allowed the 9th fewest assists in the league. This year, they allow the most, which is just crazy. His potential assist volume, yeah, no Trey Murphy, no CJ. Yeah, it's different. I wouldn't even look at last year's data, to be honest, if I'm looking at Zion. This year, especially since January, is what I would be looking at. And Zion gets a lot of assists depending how teams are going to play him. Denver, yeah, look, a lot of similar types of players. 6 out of the last 8 have covered their assist line against Denver. Look, I wouldn't say not to take an assist prop for anyone against Denver. You'd be surprised. Like, I'm going to go out and say it. I think there's at least 4 or 5 of these Pelicans players. They're probably going to go over their assist line against Denver just in the flow of the game. So I don't hate it. I don't mind that. But I wouldn't be using last year's form as a reason why I should take it. All right. What else we got? Jalen Duren double-double. Man, can't believe I didn't bet on that guy today. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at Jalen Duren. All right. Against Atlanta. He's been killing it lately, Jalen Duren. Scored 14 points last time, 6 from 7 in 26 minutes. He had 12 rebounds last time, 19 potentials in 26 minutes. He's been playing really well, Jalen Duren. He's like not getting in foul trouble anymore. It's crazy. He's playing the minutes he should be in a back-to-back. He's been a bit all over the place in back-to-back games. Hasn't scored very well in back-to-back games, but you could argue these matchups are difficult. So, yeah, Jalen Duren for a double-double. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't mind it at all. What do we have? Jokic triple-double, Zion points, Braun 15, Trey Murphy. Nah, I think you got plenty there. If you're planning on putting all that in a parlay, then I think you got more than enough, my man. What else are we looking at? So this chat is just flooding, and I realized it resets itself. So I barely made any progress here. All right, let's take a look at Christian Braun, shall we? Christian Braun. And I apologize if I'm missing your messages, but we're doing our best here. 15.5 points for Christian Braun. Brown. It's Brown. Sometimes I just read things the way that I see them. I know that it's Brown. I'm not a clueless Australian. I get it. It's just the way that it's spelled catches me off guard sometimes. Christian Brown, over 15.5 points. No Westbrook. I want to take a look to see what Christian Brown is projected to play in this game in the starting lineup. He's projected to play 36 minutes. We're going to see big-time Brown. Let's look at games where he plays at least 33. So scoring-wise, he's been pretty good. His matchup is fantastic to get some points against the Pels. A lot of transition stuff, spot-up shooting. So him to score points makes a ton of sense given the minutes and opportunities he's going to have. Assist-wise, I honestly like his assists for some reason. I think he gets a lot of them today purely because of all the transition work that's about to happen in this game. And then rebounds, there's 11 boards against the Hornets, which is nuts. This Pelicans team, not a great rebounding team either. He had 4 rebounds against them last time in 37 minutes. That was in a game that they lost. But that was with no Jokic, no Gordon. In the game after that, he had 6 rebounds. Look, so for Christian Brown, you could really go with his PRA because I like everything that I'm seeing. Yeah, I think the PRA is nice. The fact that he had 22 and 21 in previous games, but he's going to see similar minutes, actually. It's just the lineup and his recent form, which is probably swaying my decision-making right now. But, yeah, Christian Brown, I don't think that's a bad bet. Duren, points and rebounds, I agree. All right, what else we got? Do I ever bet parlays or you're more of a single bets kind of guy? I'm an animal. I'm crazy. I'll start by saying that. I do bet a lot of single bets because it's the most responsible way to play. And a bit of a thing about me, what was it, March last year? March last year, I made a commitment never to deposit into a sports book again. So I put like a couple $1,000 into sports books so I'd never have to deposit again. And I've just been playing with that money. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is all I have left. If that bankroll gets depleted, I'm never going to bet again. So yeah, I run a lot of single bets to try to be as responsible as possible, but I do also run parlays, and but I don't just randomly bet parlays like I like 5 players, let's put them together. I don't do that. I have a strategy around it. So I do bet parlays. That's what the VIP stuff is all about. Also, if you're interested in joining VIP, the discount code is LIVE, LIVE. You get 50% off your next 3 months. That's only limited to the first 20 people. I'm doing it just for this joint. Any Aussie bookies like Prize Picks? What's the big deal about? Finn, believe it or not, Dabble has something similar to Prize Picks now. It's called Dabble Pick'em. It works the exact same way as Prize Picks. So what's the big deal about it? So Prize Picks, the reason why that's so popular is because sports betting on traditional sports books is not available in a lot of states in the US, whereas fantasy sports platforms like Prize Picks and Underdog Fantasy, those are, I'd say, widely available. That's why there's a big deal about it. It's not that Prize Picks and stuff is better. It's not that. It's just that it's more available to people in the US. What else we got? A lot of you guys talking about, you got similar types of angles. Similar angles on a lot of these picks. But I'm actually enjoying myself here. I think it's pretty good. Miles Turner under 2.5 blocks and steals. I wouldn't know how to bet that, if I'm being honest with you. Up against the Jazz, maybe they turn the ball over a lot. Like, I don't have an angle for that. Props man is probably not the tool for it either. But best of luck if you choose to play it. Luka for a triple-double. I think Luka's having a triple cheeseburger right now. Was it 270 pounds he's weighing at the moment? My boy. All right, we got France over 5.5 points in the first quarter. Let's take a look at France. He's been balling. He's been scoring extremely well, France. All right. Okay. Recent form in the hit rate since he come back from injury has not been great in the first quarter. I'll quickly say that. His matchup to score points is not the best one either against the Warriors, so I'd be a little bit hesitant around that. First quarter props, not necessarily my friend. Oh, sorry, line's meant to be 5.5. This bloody DraftKings thing. At 5.5, it looks okay, I guess. He should see volume. He'll get minutes. But, yeah, I'm not loving it, if I'm being honest with you. France to score over 25.5 points. Yeah, the matchup's difficult. Might be something to get around, though, if he's going to play a ton of minutes. 3-point spread. So the game's going to be close. So France to score points, probably not too bad. What else do we have here in the chat? Gone through that one. What happened to the main page? I feel like, I'm not going to go too much into it, but the main page is just down. That's all I'm going to say. It's down for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. But at the very least, we still got the backup. Look, I don't mind. Look, I'm not overly attached to the number of subscribers and things that I had anyway. I've learned that now. Just looking at just getting content out on a consistent basis, whether it's just channel, whether I make another one, whether I start making it on Twitch, doing more stuff on Instagram. Like, I don't know, the whole creative process is what I enjoy. I'm not overly attached. I don't want to lose the other channel, don't get me wrong, but I'll most likely just be using this one for the foreseeable future, and for the other channel, I'll do something different. What are my best 3 picks so far? I couldn't even tell you. I've got that many picks down. And look, I say this all the time. My favorite picks that doesn't mean they're going to hit any better. I'll just say that. I kind of just see a number and I take it. But off the top, I would say my favorite picks probably Miles Bridges over rebounds, Trey Murphy over his points. I really do like those ones. And what's another one? Probably Domantas Sabonis over 19.5 points. I'd probably say those are the 3 that I like the most. What else do we have? When Luka plays Dallas, oh, absolutely. I wonder what his line's going to be. 34.5 or something like that, maybe. Definitely could be. Jokic, we went through Jokic. I just take the triple-double, but Michael Porter Jr., let's talk about it. Man, you guys are absolutely nailing this chat, because I'm looking at comments that are only made at like 150, which is like 20 minutes ago. So I apologize. Maybe I'm talking too much, but we'll run this for another 10 minutes, because after 2 a.m., I have to be up in about 3 hours. The things I do. Let's have a quick look at Michael Porter Jr. 3-point prop. No, it looks ass. Matchup is good, but I wouldn't touch it. Let me quickly scan to see if there's any craziness going on. I got to load up new comments. That's what sucks about this thing. And you guys are firing on those comments in. I probably won't share Props Madness too much. Let's just talk. Let me go through these comments and see what's cooking, shall we? So I'm looking at comments that were made in the last 10 minutes. Anything before then, I won't be able to see, because this is just too crazy. I get it, man. I get it. I wish this guy would just change the way that his surname was spelt, because I keep saying it wrong. It's Brown, it's Brown, it's Brown. Got it. What do we have? Colin Sexton ladder. I'm not loving Colin Sexton today. His lines are pretty high. What else we got? The Lord's work. My goodness. What picks? So hopefully someone can put this in, not in the chat, but in the comment section if you guys want. No, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. It's all right. I'm not overly attached to the channel too much anyway. I do. My heart does break a little bit when it gets pulled down, though, so it kills. Happy birthday, Ralph. Zion rebounds and assists. Andre Jackson Jr. in PRA. Fixed news just came in a few minutes ago. I don't know what that means, but I did look at this as a bet, right? I did look at Andre Jackson Jr. and I did look at his PRA. Now, his hit rate has been decent as of late, but against OKC, he only had 6 PRA last time. But I do like I'm pretty sure I bet on him last time. I'm pretty confident I did. In this particular game, he had 6 PRA at halftime or something, and then he did nothing for the second half. So the whole angle here on Andre Jackson Jr. is the fact that he's going to be defending SGA, which means he's going to get a lot of game time. Also in offense, they're going to leave him wide open. They're going to sell out. They'll leave Andre Jackson Jr. wide open the whole time. And he's been making shots lately. You know what I'm saying? So if this man's been scoring as a late, having some confidence to put the ball in the rim, then the PRA should be easy money. That's what I'm thinking. I do like this look. I don't know if I'm going to take it. 7.5 PRA, but I really do like it. I strongly considered it for him. Now, where was I? Man, a lot of you guys yelling around this Christian Brown stuff. I get it. Santi Aldama again? What do we mean by again? There's no lines available just yet. Well, they're starting to open up, but there's nothing for Santi. Nick Richards rebounds. Let's take a look here. Nick Richards has been rebounding like an animal lately, I must say myself. Up against the Portland Trailblazers today. Nick Richards, here he is. All right, rebounds. His line's at 9.5. He's versing them again. 19-point loss last time, and he still had 10 rebounds. 5-point spread here. Man, I think I forgot to look at this game. So, Devin Booker to score points is on my radar because he just killed them. Points and assists is what I'd be looking at, just real quick because I'm on this game and I could just hear my son waking up. He's about to start screaming, so I'm about to jump off. But points and assists for Devin Booker, I like. Nick Richards rebounds, I like, because the script of the game here is you assume Phoenix play better. They don't get blown out. Portland miss more shots. Nick Richards gets more game time, and he sees more rebound opportunities. So they're the two looks that I'd be taking in this particular game. Quickly scan in the chat to see if there's anything else. You just said way too many nice things to trust his ass today. Fair enough. I'm not betting on Jalen Duren, but he has been doing well. What else do we got? Oh. You like the live stream? So sad Giannis made a 3 yesterday. He made a 3. Look, I'm angry at Giannis. I needed him to score 2 more points. 0 from 6 from the free throw line. Just breaking hearts. Crushing me. Christian has made dollars. Now, that's what I'm going to do. Instead of calling him Braun all the time and making that mistake, I'm just going to say Brown. That's what we're going to do. What else have we got? What's up? Have I looked at other tippers? I don't even know who JM Picks is. So, no, I haven't really. The only time I'm really looking at other people's YouTube videos now is when people send them to me. I'm getting a lot of people send me like videos like, hey, this guy's copying your thumbnail. This guy's copying the way that you deliver things. This guy's copying everything that you do, like almost word for word. And I was like, that's a compliment, I guess. But, yo, appreciate you, man. The digital print house. I thought this said meth. I thought this said, if you need meth, let me know. And I was like, oh, I need to take that off. But I think you meant to say merch. Right. Okay. Yes, it was merch. Like this guy's selling meth on a YouTube chat. Richard was cooking. Do I have any promotional codes? No, I don't have any promotional codes in Australia. Australia's a little bit strict on those promo codes. But Richard, send me an email, daftpreviews@gmail.com. Whatever you need, I'll do what I can to help you out. What else are we cooking at? Banchero turnovers for the over. Look, I don't hate the idea there, but I can't use the analysis to really tell you whether he does or not. You're just looking at hit rates. Would I take Chris Paul PRA? Probably not. That's in that Spurs and Memphis game. You don't even know who's playing, so I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't touch a PRA at this point. Hey, appreciate you. Best capper on the net. I am so average at this. You guys wouldn't understand. Like, I am so average when it comes to making these picks. I do love it, though, so I'm not going to stop. Whether I'm bad at it or not, I'm not going to stop. But in my opinion, I'm so average. There's so many people who are better than me at this. The thing that helps me is I'm somewhat consistent. I work very hard. I love doing this. I love basketball. And I also happen to have this parlay strategy, which only maybe 3 to 4 people do. And my parlay strategy just destroys the books. Like, lately, a lot of people have been reaching out to me to say, hey, I'm on VIP and I'm being restricted on the books. So the picks are hitting that well. Well, the parlays are hitting that well. They're getting restricted on it. But when it comes to the picks, I'm honestly average at best. But I appreciate you guys for saying such nice things all the time. Have I looked at Ricochet's points? Yeah, it looks all right. His matchup doesn't look great. I'm not taking it, but Ricochet, yes. Richards, yes. 8 and over points. Yes, that makes a ton of sense against Phoenix as well. Richards not good defensively at all. Hartenstein points or rebounds or both. I personally am running just the rebounds, but both look good to me. Post us a parlay with 3 best bets. Well, we've gone through at least 15 bets. 5 of them are mine. I'm assuming you want a shot on my foot. I'm not doing that. I ain't lifting my foot up this high, but we'll see. It's temporarily down for the foreseeable future. That's all I could say. Okongwu points and rebounds. What do we think of Okongwu today? He's got a tough matchup against Jalen Duren. I can say that. We were looking at points and rebounds for Okongwu. Had 19 last time they played. Lines at 21.5. His matchup to score points, I guess, isn't too bad. Similar types of players have struggled against Detroit, though, rebound-wise. He did get 10. But, yeah, the lines are high for Okongwu. I ain't down for that. I said bitch. I haven't even been saying it that much, these bitch-ass parlays, because I haven't been betting that many of them. So I don't know what their problem was. Parlay, look, I gave you 5 bets, and I've also said that I can't tell you which one is the best. And the parlay science stuff that I do is for VIP members. So you can check that out. Discount code is live. The link for that's in the video description. You get 50% off the next 3 months. Well, and Brook Lopez, bit of Brolo. Let's see what he's cooking. Up against OKC. Brook Lopez. Lines at 10.5. Last time he played them, he did have 13. Somewhat consistent. He's got a good matchup as a spot-up shooter. I want to see if any other stretch bigs have done well. They haven't. Porzingis is the only player I would say which is like Brook Lopez in terms of how they score. That's gone over. So yeah, the hit rate is nice, but I'm not down to bet Brook Lopez against OKC. There could be a blowout there. I might have to pass on that one. Andrew Wiggins assist prop. Look, there's no angle on that. You're probably just looking at hit rates, I assume, because Wiggins at 2.5 plus money. It is nice, plus 150, but he's also up against the Magic, who don't allow too many assists. Some players have done well, but the Magic don't allow many assists this season. Second fewest assists, so the odds for that might be a little bit right. Who's getting the assists against the Joker today? Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to take Missy to get assists, are we? Let's take a look. Where is Missy? Missy, assists. His line's at 1.5. He averages 1.3 over his last 27 games. And he had 1 assist against Denver last time. So a lot of centers get rebounds against Denver because they run a lot of handoff action. This Pelicans team doesn't run a ton of handoff action with Missy. So, yeah, it might be a little bit difficult. I would say someone like a Zion, Trey Murphy, CJ. These are your guys, the guys with the high usage rate. I think these are the types of guys that can get assists. So look at CJ here. I called it how his matchup to score points is not good, but he's up against Denver, who allow a ton of assists. He had 9 assists against them last time. So it could be CJ. Could be CJ. That's all I'm saying. So bonus line just went up to 20.5. That wasn't because of me. It wasn't because I shared it. That's what I'll say. What's my handle on Dabble? I don't have access to the American version of Dabble. The Australian version I do, and it's draft previews. What else we got here? First quarter rebounds. I don't have access to that on Props Madness. I'm mucking around with that. But his rebounds line, just taking the 10 boards. I like that. Maybe some unders. Caesar stopped doing PRAs. Got to bet individually. Okay. I hear you. That's weird. Well, if someone's betting on a PRA that you're not allowed to do, if you just want to look at a straight bet, usually points is the way to go. Because normally people aren't hitting their PRA without hitting their points anyway. Smash that like button. All right, I'm starting to get fatigued. I'm starting to tire out. You guys are wearing me out. What else we got? Josh Hart. Josh Hart. I don't even know if he's playing today. Is he a game time decision again? I'm assuming so. And he's on a back-to-back. Does Josh Hart play today? Yeah, he's a game time decision. Him and OG, game time decisions. Royce O'Neal under his PRA. Man, we've got to go deep. Let's take a look. I'll do these last couple and then I'm getting the hell out of here. Royce O'Neal, his line's not even available yet. So I can't even touch no Royce O'Neal. I apologize. Goga, 7.5 boards. What do we got? Go Gadget. Where is he? Goga Pataze. Rebounds. I'd want to look at games with Franz and Paolo back in the lineup. So he's played 3 games really since they both come back. 9, 3, and 8. Yeah, he's got a pretty decent matchup. 7.5, probably not the worst angle. Goga. Yeah, he could get boards. Plus money for 7.5 as well. I don't like that. Nice look. Stacks. Zion. We've been through Zion. I like him to go over on everything. You love an early live show. I don't love a 2 a.m. late show for me. Brogdon rebounds and assists. I did look at Brogdon rebounds and assists, so let's talk about it. So Malcolm Brogdon has an amazing hit rate for rebounds and assists. Check it out. 14 out of 19 games. I've actually got some notes on this. It was a lean for me. Malcolm Brogdon's only projected to play 21 minutes in this game. So if we were to look at games between, let's say, 25 minutes, we cap him there. 15 to 20, like this is what we're working with. 6 out of the last 11 games. And a lot of the times he's finishing close to the 6.5. So I still support the over. I get that. But yeah, 24 plus minutes, I don't think is the right filter to be using. Because if you're using Malcolm Brogdon at 24 minutes, if he's projected to play 21, he's probably not likely to play 24. That's all I'm going to say. Because in a lot of these games, he was playing 25 to 30 minutes. So these games, if anything, you got to chalk them because he's probably not going to get that type of game time based on the projections anyway. Can I pin my picks for the day? I'm not going to pin it, but if someone can put the comment in under the video of what the picks were that I went through, because I've spoken about 20 different players, then I would happily pin it. How are you supposed to play the value plays together? You pretty much put them all in a slip and bet them like a parlay. That's how it should be done. It's the same game parlay for different players. Kessler, we've talking about. I do like his over. And Luke, can you go over all the bets one more time? What, every single thing that I went through? All right, let me. I'm not going to click. I'm not going to click on it all. But I'll tell you the ones that I spoke about. Mark Williams, over 31.5 points and rebounds. Miles Bridges, over 8.5 rebounds. Asar Thompson, over 9.5 points. Jalen Green, over 23.5 points. 25.5 points for Jalen Brunson. Domantas Sabonis, over 19.5 points. And Trey Murphy, over 25.5 points and assists. I do need a producer. My Lord. Yo, what's up, Safari? What's happening, King? So Safari is one of the guys, one of the cappers who's in my free Discord. He's killing it. Absolutely killing it. Best flavor of crayon is definitely purple. If you eat enough purple crayons, they eventually taste like grape. So check that out. Hey, but look, I'm going to get out of here because I'm starting to fatigue. As of tomorrow, the next day, I'll be putting my videos out as I normally would. Now, let me get my big screen up so you guys can see my lovely smile. But as of tomorrow, yeah, things should go back to usual. If someone from my Discord, I know there's a lot of you in this stream. Someone from the Discord, if you can share the link for the Discord in this chat so people can actually, I can't count on you guys to do anything. I'll do it myself. I'll share. If you guys are interested in joining the free Discord, Well, it's the Discord, really. It's not just a free one. I only have a free Discord. I don't have anything else. But I've just put the link for the Discord in the chat if you guys are interested. But yeah, as of tomorrow, hopefully getting back to things as usual, doing my normal uploads on this channel. Oh shit, I forgot about him. Now he just stopped crying, so hopefully he's gone back to sleep. But hey, I appreciate you guys. A lot of love. I see a lot of the same names time and time again, so I just want to say thank you. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. Last shameless plug. If you're interested in joining a VIP, use a discount code LIVE. The link for that's in the video description below. You'll get 50% off the next 3 months. I normally don't do a 3-month discount. It's normally one. So go ahead. My man Barnes, join the VIP. Yes, sir. 10:30 in the US. Well, good morning to you guys. It is 2:30 a.m. here in Australia, and I'm normally wired after recording these types of videos, so it might be difficult for me to get to bed, but hey, we'll see what happens. If you guys like the live streams that much, I'll try to find a way to incorporate them all. We'll probably just have to find a better time slot because, yeah, this time is not going to work for me. Maybe an hour before the games. I don't want to overlap with Josh and land your bets his stream because I'll probably join that. That makes it a lot easier for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If you guys are really enjoying it, we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can get more live streams out. But I do appreciate you all for checking in. Best of luck. It's a massive slate of games. I ask you to gamble responsibly. Don't chase your losses if you're losing. Just gosh, have some discipline, please. That's all I ask. I appreciate you all. Peace. Oh, I got to play that song for you. Got to play that song. I know some of you guys need that.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.